What is up, everyone? Welcome into Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce, your host. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 wide receivers that you need to crush your fantasy league this year and bring home that trophy, all right? But before we get started, click the subscribe button below. That's going to help me grow my channel, all right, guys? Let's get into my number 1 wide receiver, and that's going to be Tyreek Hill, all right, guys? We got his game log from last season right here. The dude is a beast. He had 15 touchdowns, 1,275 yards. This dude is a touchdown waiting to happen every game. And you know what? He's got Pat Mahomes throwing him the football. Look, Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. That's pretty well agreed upon at this point. And this is a big play wide receiver who's going to win you weeks and get you consistent production. Okay, 2 years ago, he was kind of that boomer bust wide receiver, but he is that no more. He is the consistent producer for your fantasy team, and he's going to win you weeks and he's going to win you leagues, guys. So, scoop this guy up as soon as you can in your draft. He's usually going, late in the first round, early second round. That's a good value right there, okay? This guy is a league winner. Now, I normally advise taking workhorse running backs with a first-round pick or an early second-round pick, but this guy is actually an exception to that rule. I would take this guy over a lot of good running backs this year, even a lot of the workhorse running backs. Now, there's 4 or 5 running backs that I'm still taking in front of Tyreek Hill, but he is worth a draft in the first round, late first round, early second round, okay? So we're going to move on to my number 2, and that's Devonta Adams, all right? Devonta Adams is a beast, guys. Look at this. He had 18 touchdowns last year. 18 touchdowns for a wide receiver is completely ridiculous. He's got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football, Aaron Jones, helping him moving the rock down the field. So he's going to get his opportunities to score touchdowns again. I don't think 18 is going to be what he does again. I mean, he's due for some touchdown regression, but his usage rate is there. They're going to be throwing him the football all up and down the field. He's a PPR machine. He was somewhere around, he was definitely in the top 5 last year as far as yardage, I know. Let's take a look up here real quick. I think he was definitely in the top 5. So he was tied for 5th with 1,374 yards last year. There's no reason to think that number is going to go down at all, guys. I mean, he's the clear-cut number 1 wide receiver on the team. This dude is going to win you fantasy leagues, okay? A lot of people are drafting him first overall. I advise taking Tyreek Hill first overall, but Devonta Adams is never a bad pick. It's 1A and 1B. You really can't go wrong with either of these guys. So scoop one of these guys up early first round, early second round, late first round. Scoop one of these guys up for your fantasy team. They're league winners, all right? And then I have my close number 3, DeAndre Hopkins. This guy's a beast, guys. He's got Kyler Murray throwing him the football. Kyler Murray is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, guys. Don't get it twisted. He's going to be moving that ball all up and down the field. And look, DeAndre Hopkins handled 26% of the target share last year. I mean, they throw this guy the ball so much. I mean, he's going to catch you, 7, 8 passes a game. He's a touchdown waiting to happen. I mean, look, he only had 6 touchdowns last year. That is due for some serious positive touchdown regression. There is no way he only scores 6 touchdowns this year. That number's going to go up, okay? The yardage, he was 3rd in yardage with over 1,300 yards. That number should stay about the same. I mean, Kyler Murray loves airing the ball out. Cliff Kingsbury loves airing the ball out. He's going to be somewhere around there in yards, 12 to 1,400, and he's definitely due for positive touchdown regression. I wouldn't doubt that he finishes as the number 1 wide receiver, all right? We're going to move on to number 4, guys. Terry McLaurin. This might come as a surprise to some people because they don't see Terry McLaurin as a top 5 wide receiver talent-wise or fantasy-wise. I'm here to tell you that mindset is completely wrong. Terry McLaurin is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. They have Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing him the ball now, so anybody that knows Ryan Fitzpatrick knows that Ryan Fitzpatrick loves to air the ball out. Doesn't really care if he throws interceptions. He might or might not win you games, but your number 1 wide receiver on whatever fantasy team that Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing for is going to produce elite fantasy numbers. This dude only scored 4 touchdowns last year. That is an absolute fluke. There's no way he scores less than 10 touchdowns this year. Terry McLaurin's going to go off. He's handled 41% of the target share since he's been on the team the last 3 years in Washington, okay? This dude gets all the passes, okay? He gets all the passing works. And, 4 touchdowns with Alex Smith and who else did they have throwing on the ball? Kyle Allen. I mean, that's why his touchdown numbers were so low. With Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's definitely going to get in the end zone more, okay? So draft Terry McLaurin. The crazy thing about Terry McLaurin is a lot of times he's going all the way slipping to like an early 3rd round draft pick. I mean, God, I would draft this dude at the end of the 2nd round. I would even consider a middle of 2nd round pick on Terry McLaurin. And I know some people think that that's crazy, but I just know how good this guy's going to be this year. He's a league winning wide receiver. That's why I have him in my top 5. If you get a chance to have him on your fantasy team, guys, you need to draft Terry McLaurin. All right, I'm going to my number 5. My number 5 is Stefon Diggs. Look, Stefon Diggs is a beast, guys. He somehow only had 8 touchdowns this last year. I don't know how that happened. I don't see any version of him scoring less than 10 touchdowns this year. Okay, this guy's got one of the best quarterbacks in football throwing him the ball. He's got absolutely no competition for his receptions. I mean, Cole Beasley is the number 2 receiver in Buffalo. Stefon Diggs pretty much is going to get all the work. He's going to move the ball up and down the field. He's going to get in the end zone. I think he was first last year in yardage, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go up here and check that and make sure that's correct. Yes, he was first in yardage last year with 1,500 yards. Guys, that's super impressive, 1,500 yards. The Buffalo experiment went very well for Stefon Diggs. I'm proud of my guy here because, man, when he was on Minnesota, I always said, man, they need to pass him the ball more because, you know, he's a beast. He's a difference-making wide receiver, super elite talent. He's going to be on what could quite possibly be the best offensive football this year. So, I would scoop Stefon Diggs if you can. He's going a lot of times late second round, early third round in drafts, sometimes middle of the first round. He's pretty much the wide receiver 3 off the board in most drafts. I would draft DeAndre Hopkins in front of him for sure. I would consider Terry McLaurin in front of him, but it's kind of a toss-up between those two. I have Terry McLaurin in my number 4 because I just think that he is a really, really good wide receiver, due for some serious positive touchdown regression, and his usage rate in Washington is just absolutely insane. It's like the only person they pass the ball to is Terry McLaurin. Anyway, Stefon Diggs is one of the best receivers in football, and he's going to be a league winner this year, guys. Draft Stefon Diggs. Anyway, guys, that's it. I just wanted to go over my list of wide receivers today. It was just a quick video. Remember, I always advise, draft a workhorse running back ahead of, a beast wide receiver. When it comes to the receivers this year, Devonta Adams and Tyreek Hill are exceptions to that rule. Other than that, there aren't exceptions to that rule. But those top two guys are just that good. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about the top 5 wide receivers. What do you agree on, not disagree on? And let me know what you think. I'll see you guys tomorrow.